Disney's Descendants movie series is one of the best productions in recent times. The idea of the villain kids, the choreography, and the great tunes that come with it amazes not only the kids, but the older audience as well. Well, there are some things that you might have missed that only true Descendants fans noticed. Number 1. Princess Audrey Rose is missing. Princess Audrey is a secondary antagonist of Descendants and the main antagonist of Descendants 3. When the villain kids came to Auradon Prep for the first time, Audrey was the last one to welcome them. By this we mean that she did not particularly like them and was suspicious of Mal because Ben was attracted to her. She tried to use Chad Charming, who also happened to dislike the Children of the Isle of the Lost, to get Ben back from Mal, but failed. They finally made up with Mal during Ben's coronation and decided to respect each other. Although she returns in the animated short series Descendants Wicked World voiced by Sarah Jeffrey, Audrey does not appear in Descendants 2. She is mentioned several times, and through Jane, it's revealed that Audrey went to a spa vacation with Fauna, Merryweather, and Flora. Number 2. Bibbidi Bobbidi. Many of us could have overlooked this, although it got repeated several times in The Descendants. Descendants brought the memories of Cinderella with it through this phrase, as Fairy Godmother kept repeating it all the time. As a physical representation of hope, Fairy Godmother is a kind fairy that is committed to making dreams a reality for the pure-hearted and noble people. The magic she's made possible when she says the words bibbidi bobbidi boo at the Royal Cotillion. She was touched and happy and ended up saying the magic words bibbidi bobbidi when she found out that Jane had a date, and the date was none other than Carlos de Ville. It is also through Jane, the shy and modest daughter of Fairy Godmother, that we come across the magic words again. Carlos made her a birthday cake with the phrase, "Happy bibbidi bobbidi birthday, Jane!" The cutest message Jane could ever ask for from such a loving boyfriend. Indeed, with such kinds of hints, it's impossible to forget the fairy tales like Cinderella, and we bibbidi-bobbidi hope Disney has more in store for us. Number 3. Uma's reveal. Most people didn't know if there was going to be another chapter of The Descendants after the second part of the trilogy was released, but there was this part that gave us a clue, but not many were able to understand what it meant. The end of the second movie series of The Descendants fooled many that everyone was going to, live happily ever after, but Uma had a little surprise for all of us. The statement Uma gave at the end of Descendants 2 got some of Disney's franchise fans excited that there was going to be another Descendants movie, Descendants 3. After the fight between Mal and Uma comes up and says,
"You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?"
Of course, this caught us by surprise as we believed it was the end, and boom, there it was, the third chapter of The Descendants. The reason we actually came to think that there was going to be another Descendant movie after Uma asked that question is the exact same thing Mal said at the end of the first Descendants movie, leading to the production of the second part of the same. Things only Descendants fans noticed, we also include some of the mistakes that might have been overlooked. One of the mistakes that people may not have seen occurred during the fight between Uma and Mao at the end of the second Descendants movie. After the true love's kiss that Mao gave Ben, Uma jumps into the water and transforms into a giant octopus. She splashes water into the boat and everybody gets wet. The fight absorbed all of our attention that we did not see that the boat had no traces of water. Where did all the water that Uma splashed at everyone go to? We tend to wonder because, during the dance at the end of the movie, it could be seen that water could actually be trapped on the boat. Okay, we don't really know where the water disappeared to, which leads us to the second question. Where did all that water at the final scene come from if all that water Uma splashed with her gigantic octopus tentacles disappeared mysteriously? Anyway, we are glad managed to cool them down and stop the fight. Number 5, the dry hair. Still, on the mistakes that may have been overlooked, we came to find that there were lots of them during the last scene of Descendants 2. After the fight, Uma left and people came together and started dancing. However, there was something that caught our attention. Everyone was dancing on a boat full of water. They just had to let loose after a terrifying moment. Apart from the fact that the ladies had a change of clothing from long dresses to short ones, Mal's hair was conspicuously dry. Okay, we understand that she may have dried it up when she was changing her clothes, but how did it not get wet when she was dancing? And every other person's hair was wet, including Evie's and Ben's. It is totally okay for the directors to make their actors look good, but to extent of allowing such mistakes to go through, that's totally wrong. Number 6, the color-changing lizard. Just by the mention of the word lizard, what comes at the back of the mind of a true Descendants fan is Mal's mother, Maleficent. During the coronation in Descendants, Jane managed to snatch the wand in order to give herself a makeover. It backfired and created a hole in the barrier covering the Isle of the Lost. Mal then took the wand back and decided to choose good over evil, as it was the only thing that brought happiness to her life. At that time, Maleficent arrived to take the wand. Everyone except Mal and her friends was frozen in time. Mal stood up against her mother and shrunk her to a small lizard. This is the part that gets interesting. When Mal turned her mother into a small lizard, the lizard's color was purple. But in Descendants 2, the color of the lizard inexplicably changed to green. Of course, we don't know the reason for this change in color, but since these are Maleficent's signature colors just like her daughter, we may conclude that it is because she still has the magic in her. Number 7, Mal's evolution. Ask any of the Descendants fans who their favorite villain kid is, and Mal's name will appear among the favorites. Being one of the favorites, one might take a keen interest in her and learn more about her story and how she's evolved. One thing Mao had to struggle with is being her mother's daughter. It turns out that being the daughter of one of the most iconic antagonists brings with it a lot of hate and resentment. Luckily for her, she proves she's not all that bad, as some may have assumed, and that softens people's hearts. Now, through the 3 Descendants movies, we get to see Mao's great transformation, especially her hair. From full blonde with little hints of purple at the tips in the beginning to edgy straight purple look after getting back to the Isle of the Lost. She describes the color as evil purple, which is precisely who her mother is, and that makes her an evil person too. But as time goes by, we get to see Mao transform into a totally different person, especially when she falls for Ben. She's confused about whether to be evil or good. From a totally wicked person, well based on her looks and her character, to a total princess with the lilac gown that she put on during Ben's coronation, Mao soon became the fans' most beloved character. Number 8. Audrey's informant. Audrey's story seems to be getting a little stranger by the minute. Let us picture it this way. You have an enemy you want to battle against, but she has a vast army behind her, and now you have to look for a way in which you can get to her without her knowledge, and there is no better ally than an enemy of your enemy. Mao being her greatest enemy, the royal and extremely confident Auradon Prep cheerleader has something up her sleeve. In Descendants 2, she happened to know everything that happened in the Isle of the Lost. She calls out Uma several times during the trailer of her royal return, and at one point she has the feeling that Uma might be the only person that hates Mao more than she does, and so, if she wants to plan her revenge, the vengeful pirate will definitely be the right person to team up with. 9. Signs. There are some signs and pictures that may have gone unnoticed in the Descendants movies. One had to be extremely keen to figure them out. Lady Tremaine's Curl Up and Die salon had a sign of a clock at the door that read closed until midnight. Many fans believe that this was in reference to Cinderella. If you are a genuine Disney fan, then you can remember the story of Cinderella and that her enchantment ended at midnight. There's also a sign from Hades that stated where he actually was. It is believed that the god of the underworld put it there to make people aware of his existence. But this obviously passed without many people noticing. It had the writings, Hades Souvlaki. It's under this world. How did we miss that? And number 10, the Royal Way. Finally, we saved the best for the last. It is a normal thing for royal families to put up paintings or pictures of their loved ones in the palace walls. Disney movies have shown this with their different fairy tales like Beauty and the Beast. Well, it might be a tradition that many people don't know, but the real reason behind it is to keep memories of those that served before. In Auradon, we realized that there were glass windows that had pictures of paintings of Disney's fairy tale couples. Belle and the Beast was one that was clearly seen. And finally, they unveiled a stained glass rendition of Ben and Mao, which will be placed among the other legendary and most iconic Disney fairy couples. What a way to celebrate the two. There are so many other things we noticed, like the Lumiere at the Cotillion, that we have not talked about, so you might want to revisit the Descendants movies and find out for yourself. Anyway, which of these things passed without your knowledge of their presence? Please let us know in the comments section below, and remember not to forget to subscribe and like the video too. We post new videos daily, so don't forget to check for one tomorrow. This has been Riveted.